that's reassuring. You call a hotel in Vegas and you get a busy signal. I would imagine they have a bunch of holds, so pretty busy. I get a lot of spam callers. This is really hard. You know, we planned this vacation. Geez, October, November, I think it was, and I paid for it, and I can't get that money back. And it's $1,200. And then there's the flight. I can't get that back either. They basically just give me a credit for it. I don't get a refund of any sort. So there's like about 2,300 reasons right there that it's like, well, but I don't want to look like an ass. I don't want to go on a trip and have people say, "Oh, Shannon's not taking his health seriously. He's not being safe." Like the boys are still going to Kansas City. Boys are going to Kansas City to see their dad. So it's everywhere. We're talking about wearing masks. I didn't sleep very well last night. Um, and we're talking about taking all the precautions possible. We're not going to any shows. I hadn't intended on going to any shows anyways. And we're talking about renting a car and going out into the valley. There's a lot of hikes you could do around there and whatnot, and avoiding it. There's a lot of conferences, and it being spring break, there's going to be a lot of people, but you know, um, it's tough because the other thing with this is that it leaves a situation where I'm kind of stuck in this, and hockey season's about to be nixed today. Like if they tell teams not to have morning skates or team meetings, then the season's done. You're not going to tell teams not to have morning skates and team meetings if you're going to have the season continue. And when I have people telling me that they've heard that the season's being canceled and they're very close to the National Hockey League, then I know that's what's happening. So I've seen people saying, "Oh, you don't even know. You don't know." I do. I don't. On the main channel, I don't get into trade speculation. It's an easy way to make money on YouTube. Just throw up a board or throw up a graphic saying, "Oh, I think this guy's going to get traded, and I think this should be the price. This guy's going to get traded. This should be the price." And you're spitballing and throwing names on a wall and hoping people click on your video, and they will. I don't do it. I stay away from it. The only time I got close was last year when they had Nylander for the Leafs out. I'm not posting this on the main channel though because yeah, no. See, and then NHL player safety tweets out Brendan Lemieux will have a hearing tomorrow for interference on Colorado's Jonas Donskoy. just really hard. Because, like, if we go on this trip, then there's going to be people saying Shannon being all cavalier and look at him not caring about his health or the health of his community, or and yet there are so many people walking around with this that don't know they have it. It's here and it's there and it's everywhere. And yet I have the concern of what happens if we get there and we can't get back. For instance, last night I registered us with the Canadian Foreign Affairs. So basically, if something happens while we're in the States, we can contact Foreign Affairs, and they know who I am. They have my passport number. They know who Yvonne is, and they know that we're where we're staying and all that other wonderful stuff. And but the perception is there that if we go, that look at these guys just flaunting it while the whole world is sick, and I don't want that either. I don't know that I can relax. I don't know that I can. Hockey's always been this way for me to kind of get out of my head. Uh, and it's been just fantastic to watch the growth of the channel over the last 4 years, both channels really. And here we are. I'm not feeling comfortable about traveling, but I really hate the idea of canceling, because this is the last chance we have for any kind of a break. Like I told my wife this morning, I said I think I have to cancel, and she started crying. Like I hate that. She understands. I hate it. And it's not about being cavalier, and it's not about not taking any of this seriously. Are you kidding me? I've taken this seriously the whole way through. The last thing I want to do is have a situation where I go somewhere and get sick, or conversely, if I had it here and brought it there, which has happened. And I don't want to do that. I really don't want to do that. Because it's funny right now. There's all this talk about self isolation, and I'm already there. I've been there for ages. I think the last time I went out for a coffee with a friend of mine it has to have been over a year ago. Has to have been over a year ago that I actually went out for a coffee. And now, I don't know. Like I even said to Yvonne, I said, I don't even know if I would feel comfortable at a restaurant right now. I said, I go into a store and somebody next to me coughs, could be completely innocuous. I'd be like, okay. And it's not being able to relax. That's the problem. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to do. And it's not about fear mongering. It's about trying to be smart and do the right thing. But even flying out of Seattle, like, I even thought about it the other night when we were at the hockey game. I thought, there's a lot of people in a really small spot. All it takes is one, right? Yeah, see right here, Canucks cancel Thursday morning skate. Yeah, it's going to be more than the Thursday morning skate.
Go to Vegas, see Monte Carlo, blah, blah, blah. Another gimmick. Just give us your
money. Okay, I don't know where that came from. See, the phone's listening to me because it was a Vegas ad. It is expected the league will make a further announcement today about the remainder of the season. Conference call scheduled for today. Yeah, Major League Soccer suspended their season immediately too. IHF World Hockey Championships will be called off. That's absolutely going to happen. It hasn't yet. It's going to. The best part is that all this is just stuff happening in how I feel. So if this video gets demonetized, that's amazing. Wow, they even have on your Canucks game day. Dialed in dem code, key to taking bite out of coyotes and coyotes. So on my main channel, I always do for people who may not know, I know not everybody subscribes to the main channel. I do boards every day of the previews of all the hockey stuff. I have done absolutely nothing with the boards today. That's a first. That's never happened. Where it's supposed to be a game day, there's 10 games on, and I should be hurriedly trying to put together the boards. Nothing. I've done nothing. I have frittered and worried about this all night. What do I do? What do I do? Because, like, for instance, we were talking about going to, things locally. So, like, for instance, there's an arcade near here. Do you go there right now? She wants to take the kids to the aquarium. Do you? Like, all of these public things. And this is just locally, right? So, and then, of course, the Whitecaps caused some issues with their response to a fan asking some questions. Got to make sure when somebody's asking questions that they're not a healthcare professional, because they're going to know when you're bending the truth. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can come up with board ideas for today. I can come up with video ideas for today. No problem. I can do that. I can't get this out of my head because we're supposed to take a trip on Sunday, and it's now Thursday. And with how quickly this is changing, I would not be surprised if we get down there and then we can't have our holiday. Like, what if we get down there and, like, 2 days in, yeah, and my wife has solid, oh, sorry, I'm just tired. She has solid suggestions of how, we could rent a car for an extra day while we're down there. We were already going to rent a car for a day we were down there anyways. We could rent a car and just go out and drive. So again, it's not, I wasn't going on a vacation to go partying, go to clubs and all of this. I was hoping to see a game while I was down there, but that's not happening now. So, I'm just keeping it, I'm trying to keep it as small as possible. So yeah, again, it may look on the outside like, well, if we go to Las Vegas, then they're probably going partying and all that. No, not really. We don't really do that. And yeah, it's one thing I've talked about with everything that's going on is I think a sense of normalcy is important. And I understand people are gonna say you can't have normalcy and you're being selfish. No, I'm not. Okay. I'm not saying everything's normal, but some sense that there are still parts of your life which from day to day are normal and are okay. and that you can, I guess it's sort of like how I've talked about, 6 years ago when my life was kind of in turmoil, and I felt like I was worthless, right? And how YouTube videos from regular YouTubers helped me with that I had a daily regular sort of thing in my life where I could say, okay, so everything here is chaos, everything here is terrible, but I have this world I can exist in for an hour or an hour and a half with my YouTube playlist, with my subscriptions, where life's normal, everything's okay, where they're going about day to day life. And all right, so I can do this, and I think that's important. So it's not a, well, let's not cancel anything because let's just keep our heads in the sand, but it's, I don't know, it is such a difficult thing right now, and like all I don't know. I don't know about canceling. I don't know about what I'm gonna do. I got the phone number for, there's a Canadian government line as well, but I understand that it's hard to get through to them. Like I said, I registered with the foreign affairs. I've gone through the Alaska Air website, and I'm aware as well that there are other people on our flight that have canceled, and that part of my thinking was this: the planes are going to be extremely clean. Fresh air is pumped in. It said every 2 minutes. They don't recycle the air. They cycle in new air, and the hotel will likely be pretty darn quiet. I mean, you probably heard the busy signal when I tried calling, and I'm sure they have multiple lines. The Vidar is a big hotel, so the idea that they have a busy signal, it's probably a lot of people canceling next week. It's spring break, so you would think it would be really busy and there'd be a lot of people, but probably not. Probably not. Um, Probably a lot less people coming in, which, and this sounds weird. I know this is going to sound weird to people, but the hotels are going to be absolutely top to bottom sanitized because tourism is their job, tourism is their life. So, on some level, as long as we were avoiding really large gatherings and as long as we were taking steps and precautions, might actually be safer there than here. And I know, there are comments I've seen on the channel about, don't be stupid, don't go anywhere, just stay home. I know, I get it. I get it. I really do. um I don't know, because we can't travel again until August. That's the earliest we can travel. That's when we are without kids. We have a 9-day trip already planned in August, and I'm really kind of excited about that. We can't do this trip. Like, for people who say, well, just postpone it, just put it off. Why can't you just put it off? Because we can't. I either cancel it or we go, and there is no putting it off. And if I cancel it, then it is a truckload of money. That's just, and again, I paid that out in, I think it was October or November. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, for people who think that I'm a nice, calm, settled person, and why do I always have a bottle of Pepto handy, either on the set or nearby? Because I'm that calm and settled all the time that I need to make sure I have a bottle of Pepto. And you don't drink out of the cup, you just drink it straight out of the bottle. Because, yeah. So I do my videos every day, and I project this confidence, and I project um, that everything's fine, and I know that's important to other people. Like I said, when I needed it, there were other YouTubers that did that for me, so I will continue to do that for people. However, in reality, my brain is mush, and I don't know. I mean, the one thing that keeps occurring to me is I don't know how well I can relax. That being said, if we do go there, And again, it's going to depend on some phone calls that get made. I'm going to talk to the Vidara today if I can get through. And Yvonne, there's phone calls that she'll make. I don't like talking on the phone. That's another thing too. Um, I've had a um, I've had a celebrity fan of the channel, and I know he's going to be like, wait, he's calling me a celebrity fan again. Yeah, no, I get it. Um, because I don't want to name it because it sounds weird, and to me it feels like it's name dropping. So I know it's him. I have no doubt it's him. This is affecting him as well. He's being affected directly in his pocketbook because he won't be able to do the touring he wants to do. He won't be able to, which gives people a hint. It's somebody. Um, it's a singer, so he won't be able to do the stuff he wants to do, which is sad, and and it's reality. So we're living in it, and hopefully this is temporary. What we're seeing is probably not that temporary, not as temporary as we'd like. And yeah, I worry. I worry because, of course, I do. It's what I do. And every time we travel, I worry. Every single time. I know before we went to Disneyland, I was worried that I either wasn't going to enjoy it, or um, that it was just not going to be good. And I always worry about Wi-Fi while we're in the States. I'm always worried that I'm going to make videos while we're in the States. I'm not going to be able to get them uploaded in a timely fashion. And so wherever we stay, if you see in the background, you go, that isn't a very nice hotel. It's because they have good Wi-Fi. We didn't stay in a great hotel while we were in Disneyland. We stayed in one that had really good Wi-Fi. So we could have stayed in a different hotel that was nicer, but I was like, the Wi-Fi score sucks, right? Yeah, well, don't stay there then. So and it's because I'm thinking, for the channel's sake, for my sake, for my sanity, good Wi-Fi is necessary, which is why I always stay in MGM resorts when I'm in Vegas because I know their Wi-Fi is good. We stayed at the Red Rock Casino, which is not on the Strip. Beautiful, beautiful hotel, and yeah, that was Wi-Fi that was interesting. I had to actually stand on. They had like a couch near the window, and I had to stand on it over in the corner and kind of tilt my laptop in a certain direction so it would actually keep uploading. And I had to hold the computer there for hours. It was the only spot in the room where I was able to get a decent upload. And it still took about 2 hours to upload a video that at home would take 5 minutes. I was like, this is driving me insane. So, yeah, Red Rock's a beautiful hotel, but if you need to upload anything, yeah, no, MGM is better. I do have some concern. There are people that I know that are in Las Vegas that they make their living um, on working in the shows, and this is going to adversely affect. And again, I understand that's not the important thing right now. I understand the important thing right now. I get it. That's why I couldn't sleep last night. I understand the importance of everything right now. But the sense of normalcy too is important. The sense of, okay, I can't think about this for 24 hours a day and getting an escape. Like, one thing I've been thinking is that with hockey being gone, and they'll announce it soon enough that hockey's done. Um, I'm gonna start watching movies. I'm gonna start doing movie reviews on this the Entertainment Guy channel regularly, because sure, Ready or Not that I watched a couple weeks ago, I didn't have time to do the review for that because yeah, weekend, and hockey on weekends is all day. So with all that time that's freed up, I do something else. Um, I really don't know. If you can't tell, I'm waffling. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Um, and maybe I'll talk to some people who are in that area, and talk to some other people as well. Because yeah, I know, if like I have, my mother's in her 70s, and she has had underlying health issues for years. The absolute worst case scenario would be something I pick up gets to her, and it's the reason why even if we have a regular flu or cold, I won't visit her. And that's just how it is. I'm like, yeah, I don't want you to get this. And I worry about people. I have a pretty good immune system. I say pretty good because, again, I don't want to appear cavalier. But, if I have a cold, it usually rifles through me in a couple of days. If I have a flu, it normally goes away in 2 or 3 days. I went to the hospital when I had the flu, I want to say 4 years ago, because it wasn't going away and it kept getting worse. I was into day 4 or 5 and it just kept getting worse. So I went to the hospital and they just looked at me and went, "You go home." They gave me every test under the sun. I had X-rays. I had like they check your chest and everything. They're looking for pneumonia and whatnot. I had at every test under the sun, and basically what happened is they said, "Yeah, we can't find anything, so it's probably the flu. Go home." So it's like, okay, all right then. I guess I'm going home. And that was just a seasonal flu, but that really kicked the hell out of me. That really did it. And so, yeah, there's a part of me thinking, this could be bad. So I am taking this as seriously as possible. And it's not panic. Panic to me is running around the streets screaming. Panic to me, that's what panic is, and just being conscious of your surroundings and what may or may not be dangerous. That's important. So yeah, I will update people on what decision I make. The time is short. Um, I was really calling them to cancel, but now that I've been talking to the camera, it's like, it is the last chance I can do this for. I mean, April, May, June, July, August. That's 5 months, and I need a break. I need a break. Um, I've been really stressing a lot lately, and not about this either. I've been stressing a lot about all kinds of things. I stress about things that haven't happened yet. I stress about things that happened years ago. I stress about pretty much everything possible. And again, the channel helps to kind of stop that and quiet it down. And now I'm kind of like, oh, okay, so the panic's going to take over. This could be a fun ride. This could be a fun ride. I mean, I have time to change the set around. There's items on the set that I need to change around or remove completely. A lot of the pictures, the player pictures I've got up, they're not doing what I wanted them to do because they need frames. But if they all have frames, then I don't have room for all of them. And so I want the Frank Caprice to stay up though, because nobody knows who Frank Caprice is other than people who played with Frank Caprice or Canuck fans. So that's important. And in general, I may just reorganize the whole room. So, and then when that's done, I'll be like, okay, now what? So there's gonna be a lot of okay, now what? A lot of and this again, that I will not put myself in a position where I could potentially harm another person. I won't. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I would be interested to know in your life and with what how are you coping? How are you dealing? This is everywhere. So it's not just and I'm aware of what's happening everywhere else in the world. I am well aware and very aware. This is something you've got to keep an eye on. So just what are your plans? Spring break's coming up. I know a lot of people are canceling. What about people that are going? What precautions get taken for people that are going? I'd be interested to know because again, sometimes it's nice to have a break from my brain, which is necessary. Um, I'm getting tagged in something. When did I get tagged in now? Yep. All right. That's it then. Okay. Now I got something to go over and talk about on the hockey channel. Yeah, okay. All right. take care of yourselves out there. I'm going to try to settle my brain down, figure out what I'm going to do. Like I said, I will talk to the Vidara. I'll have my wife on the phone too, and we'll figure out what we're going to do. I'm still leaning towards cancellation, but there's part of me saying, if you go out into the valley to go for a hike, right? Like if we're in the hotel, which is going to be as sterilized and sanitized as possible, and we have a car rented, and we just go out to the valley for a couple of days, so we'll see. But then the other problem is then the rest of the time I'm stuck in the hotel and I'm going to be in my head, which is not always a good thing. Let me know your thoughts. And I'm not going to ask people to like and subscribe on this one because that feels weird. So I'm not going to do it. Do continue to, during all of this, just like I said, I will do everything I can to make things as normal as possible. As normal as possible. Thank you guys. I will likely talk to you again soon because this channel's about to get pretty darn active. Take care of yourselves.